Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Melissa, and if you're new here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel for more astrology videos if you want to learn more. And today we'll be covering Jupiter through the houses. First of all, what is Jupiter and what does it mean in your birth chart? First of all, if you've never looked up your birth chart or if you have no idea what I'm talking about, please be sure to look up your birth chart using the link that I provided in the description of all of my videos. And you're going to need your birth time as well as your birthplace. So make sure you have that information first. And then once you get your chart, you can come back here and look at what I have to say about the house that your Jupiter is in, because it is going to play a huge part along with the sign that your Jupiter is in. And you can also look up the rest of your house placements for all of your other planets in the videos that I've already filmed. So today, Jupiter through the houses. What does Jupiter signify in the birth chart? It is all about expansion. It rules kind of like the area of your life where you feel naturally inclined. You have sort of a natural talent in that area, and the sign that it's in is going to describe more about the style that you can employ, I guess you can say, in order to reach your potential in that area of life. It's where we feel lucky. It's where we have a vision and where we find our joy. It's also where we might be inclined to receive much more blessings without really having to try very much, especially if you have a trine to Jupiter, whatever house it falls in. If you have a trine from Jupiter to any of your other planets, it's really going to help aid in receiving those blessings or in cultivating those blessings. It's really important though when it comes to Jupiter and the easy aspects though, that you know that it's there and that you don't just let it lie dormant, because it's easy to do that. If something comes really naturally to you, it's easy for you to just leave it as it is, because you don't really see any point in honing it or making it stronger. So just be aware of that if you do have any easy aspects from Jupiter to any of your other planets. Anyway, it can also be where we are inclined to take risks because we feel so lucky in that area and we feel so naturally gifted and talented. We might feel confident in the area where our Jupiter is in, and it just feels very easy handling the affairs of whatever house it's in. It might be an area that we take for granted as a result. We might not really understand or see what others see when it comes to that Jupiter placement because we might take it for granted. We might just see it as something that we were born with, or it's just something that comes naturally, and therefore it kind of goes unnoticed. It also rules over our ethics and our beliefs, and where we might go about preaching to others or acting like we know everything about that subject. In the first house, Jupiter in the first house, what does it mean? You're going to have a big identity. You're going to have a sort of enlarged sense of self. You see yourself as this big, confident, happy person who has a lot of knowledge to share. You see yourself as a teacher. Others might see you as larger than life. You really believe in yourself and you're very confident, and others see you as confident as well, and as somebody that is a guide, somebody that they can look up to. You're seen as a teacher, and you might be really gifted in teaching others as well as just promoting yourself as this big, grand, confident person who's very capable, and you just come off as very knowledgeable. You yourself might feel very lucky as a person. You might feel just naturally abundant and just gifted, and when it comes to expressing yourself, when it comes to discovering who you are, you might have very strong morals and beliefs about what it means to be yourself and creating your identity or expressing your identity. And your beliefs and your morals are also just something you hold in really high regard as far as who you are, because those beliefs and morals are strongly tied with your identity, and whatever it is that you were taught growing up, or whatever it is that you taught yourself, and the lessons that you learned in life, is going to be a huge part of your identity and how you identify yourself as a person, as an individual in the world. Jupiter in the second house, you like to indulge your senses. You like to experience your senses very intensely and with just a lot of grandness. A lot of your sensual capabilities are just very grandiose, and the tastes that you indulge in, such as, you know, the things that you like to listen to, the things that you like to read or just consume, are going to be very Jupiterian in nature. And you're going to be, you admire and you value philosophy and morals, and you really admire adventure and philosophy and just spreading knowledge, the spread of knowledge and the spread of wisdom. You probably have really good taste, and because this is an area that you're very naturally gifted in, you could be somebody who is naturally artistic or creative, or just somebody who really like has an eye for like style and good taste. You might be a big spender. You have very strong beliefs about how you spend your money and how you and your sense of value. You have a lot of beliefs about that, and just very strongly opinionated about your sense of value and what is really valuable to you. You are actually very good at making money, and you're good at managing your resources and whatever it is that you make for yourself, and whatever you like collect in life, or whatever you assign value to in life, whatever that might be. You are good at capitalizing on that and being resourceful and just making, almost like making your resources and your money just like come out of nowhere. It's easy for you to feel secure and feel very comfortable in life because you sort of like make your own comfort, and whether that is in monetary value or just in whatever it is that makes you feel secure in life, you're very good at creating that and creating abundance of that. So Jupiter in the 3rd house, you are just a natural teacher in your everyday environment and in your everyday setting. It's easy for you to just be talking to just having like a random conversation with anybody. Really, it starts out as very surface, and then all of a sudden you just want to go deep and you want to start talking about the meaning of life and just the deeper subjects in life. You're good at teaching just normal everyday skills. You're good at expressing your thoughts. You're just like a natural conversationalist. And your early years in school were probably very good. You were probably like a really good student, like in elementary, or just like in your very early formative years as a student. You have a philosopher's mind. You have a wandering mind, a mind that is just always searching for the truth and searching for the deeper meaning in life, and just like what is, like, why was I meant to be here, or why are we all here, and just, you know, constantly philosophizing like that in your just everyday conversations. And you can come off as sort of a person who's just kind of like in their own head, and you just have like a big mind, a big thoughts. You probably are somebody who has a lot of skills, and you like to learn a little bit about everything, because Jupiter here, it will increase your curiosity for many different subjects, many different skills, and you just want to like learn and absorb as much of it as you can. You have a lot of thoughts and opinions, actually. Whether you outwardly or freely express those opinions depends on other things in your chart, and nevertheless those opinions are very strong, and you might have like sort of a preachy way of communicating, just like acting or speaking as if you know a lot speaking as if you know more than others in the whatever it is that you're talking about. You're also just really good at learning and absorbing new ideas. You're good at like the intellectual exchange with other people. You're also very open-minded, because your mind and your way of thinking is just so broad and expansive. You're seen as having an open mind, having a mind that is capable of, you know, larger thoughts and larger ideas. Jupiter in the 4th house, you probably have a big family, and you probably have a really good relationship with your mom too. This is just one factor that can contribute to that, but it does not automatically mean that you did have a really like 100% good relationship with her. You're gonna have to check other things in your chart for that. You probably had a very big house, just really nice surroundings growing up. Your upbringing was just very abundant and just full of blessings and full of just goodwill and a lot of happiness, a lot of joy and laughter. You probably traveled a lot as a kid. Your family liked to travel a lot, maybe, or your parents like to travel, or they like to teach. Perhaps you were homeschooled. Your family gave you a lot growing up, and they really believed in you, and they really instilled in you a hope and an optimism that is really part of your roots. It's part of that joy, and that optimism was just brought onto you at an early age, and it was part of your upbringing. And so now, like, you take that with you as a person, and it really lies at your core of who you are. You were taught at an early age your current morals and your current beliefs, and you had to it's really important for you to feel free at home, for you to have an independence at home, and for you to feel free to explore new ideas, explore new beliefs. For you, home is really just everywhere. Home is just something that you take on your back. You could really make anywhere your home, honestly. You have an inner sense of adventure and optimism. Perhaps you are somebody who likes to do everything from home as much as possible. You might be a homebody, has a lot of activity going on at home or from home. Perhaps also another thing is that you might have had many parental figures, whether that mean an extended family. You might have had like different sets of parents. You might have had different people guiding you as you grew up, or being that parental figure. For you, your parents were seen as the ultimate teachers. They were the ones who you thought knew everything, and they were the ones who you believed taught you right from wrong. With Jupiter in the 5th house, you're somebody who loves to party. You're somebody who likes to play and just constantly take risks and gamble and just have an adventure. You're a person who's just naturally expressive. You're naturally good at stealing the spotlight, or just being in the spotlight. It's where you shine, and it's where you really thrive, and it's where, if you take that opportunity to be in the spotlight and to really express yourself and just be creative and be a performer, that is where you can collect the most abundance and receive the most blessings with Jupiter here. You probably like to gamble for fun. You like to travel for pleasure. The 5th house is where we can see what kind of just enjoyment we can have, and what our hobbies are, basically what our interests are, what we like to do to have fun. And Jupiter here can show a love for travel, a love for learning about religion, or practicing religion, or practicing philosophy, or just higher learning about philosophy is something that could be interesting for you. With this placement, you might have more children. You might enjoy kids a lot, and you might like to surround yourself just with lots of kids. You're just natural at being a kid at heart. You are a kid at heart. You could be like a really good teacher for like small children. If you ever do have kids, you, number one, might have a lot, and you, number two, you might be somebody, or like the type of parent who likes to teach them just constantly, just always just spreading knowledge to them, and not just like basic things, but like really big ideas about life, and teaching them their morals, and they're teaching them different beliefs. You are a naturally just like playful and youthful human being, and like I said, just like a kid at heart, basically. You might have many different hobbies, many different interests, and just, you'll want to definitely explore different interests, because this area of life could be one that is just very restless for you, and you just have a confident self-expression. The way you express yourself, you're just a natural in the spotlight, and you can be overly indulgent as well, just overly indulgent in whatever is pleasurable for you, and whether that be shopping or food or movies or entertainment or like romance. The 5th house also rules over that, and so you can overexpend your energy in these areas. Instead of conserving your energy in that area, you just kind of like really indulge in it, because it is Jupiter, and that's what it does. You are probably somebody who's very confident in your romance, in your dates. You're definitely a flirt, and just, you might have plenty of casual dates, and just, you know, lighthearted romances, and just seeing what's out there, basically. You're just somebody who likes to date for fun. With the 6th house, with Jupiter in the 6th house, you want a job that does not tie you down. As much as possible, you would prefer to be a teacher as your role in the workplace. You want to be the one who is kind of like a guide, kind of like a guru, or somebody that people can look up to and just ask for advice. Be the one who seems like the wise person, I guess, and you enjoy helping. You are a natural servant, and you just like to help people and be of service. You're also probably a natural at customer service, and being there for people and really understanding what you can do to help them and be of service. And you also might have many pets, and just many like little small animals running around the house or something like that. You would probably really enjoy that, and or at least you'd be really good with animals. You might have many jobs as well, and just skilled labor types of jobs where the work is very mechanical and routine, and you might also be your boss's favorite because you're just a natural hard worker. The thing with Jupiter though is that even though we have such high potential to excel at wherever our Jupiter is placed, because it is Jupiter and like it expects things to be easy, it can also go the entirely opposite way, and where we just expect things to come so naturally for us. And so with Jupiter here, we might either be like really, really good at working and really good at like using our hands and using our bodies to just like serve and help other people, or it can go the opposite way and we are sort of lethargic in that area, and we sort of expect work to be easy, and like we expect for it to not really feel like hard work. Your health might also be really good. This is a really good placement for physical body or health that just kind of like bounces back really easily after a setback. And you're somebody who does thrive in routine, and you find joy in just the everyday little things. Just like you find joy and hope in like the everyday, where other people might not notice those things or just see them as boring everyday details, but for you it's where you thrive and it's where you find joy. It doesn't take much for you to be an optimist, because you see good in like the everyday things that other people don't really notice. Your routine has to feel expansive. It has to feel like you are going somewhere, like you have to have a purpose and you have to have direction. You also need to be able to just teach something every day. You need to feel like you are of use and like you're able to spread knowledge and wisdom in just your everyday surroundings, whether that be with like your coworkers or just with just like random people that you see every day. So with Jupiter in the 7th house, you love being with other people and you love your partnerships. You love just the people that surround you, and you enjoy expanding through them. You are somebody who really benefits in your relationships. No matter what it is that you do, you don't really have to do much in order for other people to really like you and for them to like give themselves to you or just offer you good things in life. Basically, you're somebody who gets opportunities and blessings really easily through your relationships and through other people. Your ideal partner is somebody who has a big personality, somebody who might be older, somebody who has a lot of wisdom to teach you, and just somebody who's very experienced and has a lot of knowledge, has a lot of who has also strong beliefs, somebody who really has a good moral compass, who knows right from wrong, and perhaps a teacher, perhaps somebody who just knows a lot in life. Basically, this placement is also really good for marriage and might bring you just a lot of peace and a lot of joy through the marriage. You're going to have a lot of like really fortunate acquaintances. You will know and meet a lot of people, and you're definitely going to benefit from knowing them and just from meeting them, and you'll experience a sense of expansion and hope and just receiving knowledge through other people, through your acquaintances. And you are somebody who really believes in other people, and in turn they believe in you, and they tend to see the best in you because you see the best in them. You are probably somebody who might not have a lot of faith in themselves because it's sort of like the side of you that you might reject, and that you kind of like, instead of owning the Jupiter quality in yourself, you're somebody who assigns it to other people, and so you project it onto them, and instead you see others as being really good and really smart, instead of like taking that as something that you own yourself and is part of your own identity. You probably are somebody who doesn't really see yourself as a teacher, or somebody who has a lot of knowledge or blessings to spread to other people, so you kind of like unknowingly seek it through others, and that's what you get, and that's what you receive, is just a lot of knowledge through other people. And you tend to attract people who are teachers, who are also like really wise, and who have a lot of knowledge and wisdom to just like give to you and share with you. So you do attract people who are experienced in that way. Jupiter in the 8th house. So with Jupiter in the 8th house, when you form close bonds and have an intimate relationship with another person, and just have like a symbiotic sharing experience with another person, it tends to lead to good things. And when you open up to other people really allow yourself to be vulnerable, and when they are able to do that the same with you, it leads to good things, and it leads to higher knowledge. You might receive a big inheritance. You might receive just a lot through your partnerships, and through getting to know others on like a really deep level. And you tend to always be receiving from others when you team up with them. You're also just really good at solving mysteries. You're good at uncovering the truths in other people. You tend to be really good at solving mysteries and just understanding just human psychology. That is something that you're really a natural at. And when you try to understand other people on a very deep level, that serves as your wisdom, and that serves as an area where you can grow and where you can really thrive, because you're just a natural at like digging deep, and you just want to know about others. You want to learn more about them. You might be a good psychiatrist just because you have a lot of wisdom to impart in that area, in the area of just understanding them, and really like getting to know them on a really intimate level. People tend to really share a lot with you, whether that be, their deepest, darkest fears, or literally like their money, or like literally like just giving of their physical body to you. You are somebody who might be strongly psychic because of this, because of like how involved you are in like the unseen realm, and you're just really gifted in reading others and feeling like the vibes from other people. People tend to really trust you easily, and you might also trust them really easily as well. Again, like I said, you tend to benefit or receive a lot when you do team up with others, and so like that kind of goes with that, because people tend to trust you really easily and you trust them. There's a lot in that exchange, and you're somebody who is not really scared of the dark, whether that be literally or figuratively. You're not scared of the depths in other people, or uncovering the truths, or uncovering like the darker side of other people. Like, you're just really into like learning about them and learning as much as you can about them. That is where you thrive, and that is where your wisdom lies. With Jupiter in the 9th house, you seem to know a lot about life and what is right and wrong. You are somebody who is very moralistic, and you're not afraid to be outspoken about that and just speak your truth. You might be very dogmatic and have like just really extreme beliefs about life and about the world and just about people. You're gifted at understanding the world, gifted in your wisdom of the world and of life. Nothing is really foreign to you. In your eyes, you're able to see how everything is connected and how different people just kind of meet in the middle to form all of humanity. And you see the collective and you try to like form links between them rather than like seeing everybody as separate and different. So nothing is really foreign or strange to you. You're somebody who really enjoys new experiences and new adventures. This is definitely a big traveling placement, and not just traveling, but like if you can't travel, you're definitely going to be constantly learning about new places and about new people and just faraway lands. And you might be somebody who feels pushed or called towards higher education, towards just mastering your skills and your knowledge, and perhaps even going on to be a teacher in whatever it is that you're passionate about. You're somebody who wants to meet as many different backgrounds as possible and be exposed to new ideas and different beliefs. You would really do well in college and in extended university. You would really thrive in just continuing your education, and you're also somebody who has just many different beliefs and just might have many different viewpoints in life. Religion, or at least a faith, some kind of faith, is really important to you. Just having a direction and a purpose in life is really important for you. And like pursuing higher education can be something that helps you in learning whatever that purpose is. It might be religion or faith. It might be exploring the other side of the world to see what there is to see and what is worth living for in life, because of your like expanded mindset, your expanded perspective. You really think big. You think big picture for sure, and you're not somebody who really is focused on the everyday or like the details. Just like you want to have like a broader perspective in life, and that is something that you do, and you thrive in just when you do pursue that, when you pursue a purpose in life, and when you search for knowledge and when you search for truth. With Jupiter in the 10th house, you are a natural leader and you're naturally authoritative. You are seen as a person who is happy and who is just constantly positive, and somebody who is also adventurous, somebody who is smart, and you're seen as a teacher, as a wise person. And you tend to really get along with authority figures as well, including your parents, including your teachers, including just probably the government. You're somebody who really idealizes authority, and you try to be like them, you try to emulate them, and you're really good at achieving success just naturally. It's like it just comes naturally to you. Climbing the social ladder is natural for you. It's like building success and building an empire is your home, and it's your way of life basically. It's easy for you to reach higher and reach the goals that you've set for yourself. You are somebody who probably has many goals and many different ideas of what success means, and you're good at really creating a positive reputation for yourself, and you're good at doing that through social media, through marketing, through self-promotion. You really know how to promote yourself, make yourself seem like a good individual, seem like you know a lot of things, and that you just have a lot of knowledge, or that like you're the master in whatever field you're pursuing. Your career also might be one that involves teaching, one that involves traveling. Your direction in life may not necessarily just go in one straight line, but it might be more spread out, be more experimental or adventurous, or sort of scattered, because you do want to experience a lot. You want to have a lot of different experiences in life as you progress, as you climb the ladder and just try to achieve success. You want to have many different experiences, and that might include trying different things at work, or trying different careers and different paths. Now, if you have Jupiter in the 11th house, when you find yourself identifying with a group and feeling like you belong somewhere, that can really lead to positive experiences and just feeling lucky, feeling hopeful. You really do feel hopeful and optimistic when you are part of a group, and when you're part of a team, part of a like group collective, you see opportunity in that, and you definitely receive opportunity and joy in that. You might like to identify with many different types of people and see yourself as part of many different societies. You're talented in envisioning the future and really thinking far ahead into the future. You have like a really futuristic mindset, and your beliefs and ideals are really strongly tied with progressivism and just seeing a better future for all people. You're also really talented in probably like different scientific subjects, or also like new age subjects. Ironically, you know how to stand up for other people. You know how to like lead a rebellion and just lead a revolution. Are not the type to really like sit down and just revert back to old ways or stick with tradition. You don't really do that. You're good at seeing what could be better, and seeing what could be better for all of society. You're also really highly idealistic about the world and about society at large and just what it could be, and just seeing different groups get along. You're very idealistic about that, and you have a lot of ideas of what should be and how the world should be and how people should be, how they should behave with each other and treat each other. You're just very idealistic about the justice that you want to see in the world. You might have a lot of friends, you might have a lot of different acquaintances, because you do enjoy, or you do want to identify yourself as being part of different groups and different societies, and your friends, or the people that you might gravitate towards, are often fun and loud and really like high-spirited and really adventurous. You also tend to be friends with like the educated only, the people who you can receive wisdom from, the people with whom you can probably teach, or who can teach you. You might be seen as like the wise friend. That's sort of like your role in the group, is like the teacher, the one who tends to know everything, one who's had lots of experiences and is just very cultured and very expansive, the one with like the open mind. And with Jupiter in the 12th house, this is a highly psychic placement, and psychology could be something that you're gravitated towards, or something that just comes really easy for you. This is really similar to Jupiter in the 8th house, but with Jupiter in the 12th house, it's all about the unconscious and learning about the unconscious and the unconscious motivations. That includes in yourself as well, because it's all about exploring the hidden motives, not just of others but of yourself, and like really facing your shadow, really facing yourself in your alone time, you know, when you're broken in pieces and just lying in the dark on the floor and just like not really feeling your best. It's like, it's your shadow side and it's your darkness, your inner darkness. You're really good at understanding yourself and really understanding your own self motivations, and like really doing your inner work. When you do that, and when you really focus on improving yourself through inner work and through self-improvement and just like facing your own darkness, that's when you thrive, and that's where you find your joy and where you can feel hopeful about yourself. And you're somebody who's really also just compassionate. You tend to really know how others feel on a really deep level without them saying much. Again, it's a very psychic placement, and because you're just so easily and naturally tapped into the unseen, so you can just easily feel for others and have that natural compassion about you. You feel for the weak, and you feel their pain. You easily feel other people's pain, and for those who are suffering, you understand them really well, and it's easy for you to feel hopeful for them and just really extend your hand in helping them. And you do have like an inner joy and an inner hope about you. It's not something that you really identify with, though. It's just something that sort of sits deep inside you, and you don't always necessarily feel hopeful or happy when you need to. It's just something that kind of comes to you when you're like sitting alone by yourself, and it can be seen as sort of like this repressed faith this repressed joy because it is not seen on the surface and it is not felt on the surface. It's just kind of like sitting just beneath the surface, and when you really face yourself at your worst is when you tend to feel your own inner faith and your own inner joy the most. Sometimes it is hard for you to feel hopeful and to be hopeful. Only when like you sit alone with yourself is when you see that hope. And you might be somebody who is highly spiritual or highly religious. You seek wisdom and you seek expansion through going inwards and like exploring your own inner self. That might manifest through self-exploration or just being more of a spiritual person, I guess. Just because you are focused on the inner work, you might try to explore different spiritual ideas or philosophies. Another thing is you might also sleep a lot or like dream a lot, because it is the house of the unconscious, and with Jupiter here you tend to explore that a lot. You tend to explore your unconscious, whether it is consciously or unconsciously. So yeah, that might manifest through tending to sleep a lot or just be in like the spirit realm much more than the normal person. So I hope that shed some light a little bit on your own Jupiter placement, on where it is that you find your own hope, your own joy and optimism, and where you feel a natural at, like where are your natural talents. Hopefully you can explore that area for yourself much easier now and with much more clarity now. If you found this video at all helpful or it taught you something and you found it informative in any way, please remember to hit the like button. And if you want to learn more about astrology, or if you're open to learning more about astrology, welcome to my channel. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications as well, so that you can see whenever it is that I've posted. And I'm trying to get back on schedule and start posting twice a week. From now on, it's going to be every Wednesday and Sunday. So you can expect to see that from me or much more regularly. And please stay tuned for another video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.